What's going on, guys? Anthony with Metal Miners Music. This is the second time trying to do this thing. Somehow or another my camera got on a different setting, and man, it was giving me a hard time focusing, and I already have a hard enough time focusing myself. I don't need problems out of that camera, so I redid it. I've got some tapes I want to show y'all. You guys know I love cassette tapes, and trying to get you guys into them as well. You guys that are kind of on the fence, you guys that are already into them, you know they're addictive. But in the background, we're listening to Incantation, and of course this is Profane Nexus. Some killer art there by Eliran Cantor, I think is how you say the name. This was a 2017 release that came out on Relapse. This one you got 11 tracks on it. See the track listing there on the back. About 42 and a half minutes of music. This was their 11th full length. These guys have been at it since 1989. Man, if you're an Incantation fan, you know that. But if you're not familiar with these guys, they're just legends in the death metal world. I mean, early on they were in New Jersey, then mid-era Incantation was based in Ohio. Now I think they're calling home Pennsylvania, but check this one out if you haven't. Tony over at Life Eternal was selling some stuff that he had put a list up, and I was thumbing through it, and this one popped up. Didn't have a lot of vinyl, but just a few titles, and was lucky enough to get this one. Man, it's a great copy, and I was glad to get it. The inner looks like this. There's the guy's 4-piece, and there's the track listing and lyrics there on the back. Super cool stuff. But I'm an Incantation fan, you know. I think don't think they put out a bad album. That one there kind of got some low ratings, you know, on Metal Archives and stuff, but I really enjoy it. You can hear it playing in the background. And he threw in, Tony threw in his latest release of the Tony John stuff. This is the Mrs. and Me. This is a cassette that I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, Tony, I believe they recorded this, in front of a roaring fireplace on their honeymoon. There's the happy couple there, just sitting around the fireplace having a good time on their honeymoon. Hit record and put these 5 tracks on a CD. Man, this is good stuff. Probably country folk is what I would consider this. Just hit record and acoustic guitars, looks like a mandolin, and those two singing on their honeymoon, having a good time. Really glad to have this. Thank you, Tony. I appreciate you, brother. All right, let's look at some tapes here. The first one, this one's kind of dark, so let me pull it out. I think it was Liam that showed this one. This is Incongruous, and the name of it's Upheaval of Autophagus Wisdom. This is actually an EP. I wasn't familiar with this project. This is a one-man deal out of Mexico City, Mexico, classified as Death Doom. You get 5 tracks on this one, about 22 minutes of music. This guy's been at it since 2014. He had a demo in 16, and already had a debut full length in 18, followed by another demo in 20, and then this. And this is my only reference point to him. But this is dark in atmosphere. The vocals are almost blackened at times, kind of primitive sounding, almost demo quality recording, probably intentionally, but it has a real catchiness to it. I keep coming back to this thing. It's recorded a little bit low, and when I say low, I'm talking about in volume wise. You know, compared to other cassettes you'll put in your deck, you have to turn this one up a little bit. but I think that was intentional. Good stuff. I keep returning to it. There's something about it that just it's catchy, catchy enough that I'm gonna go back and try to find some of his other stuff. But Incongruous, Upheaval of Autophagus Wisdom. And I'm sure I pronounced those big words wrong, but this one came out on Necrolatry Records, and I picked it up at Rotted Life. I'm sure they probably still have some other copies. I think I seen this at Caligari too, but I'm not sure. But check this out if you're a Death Doom fan and like that Mexican style, especially the one-man stuff that's kind of dark in atmosphere and got that blackened tinge to it. I really enjoyed it. Next, we're going to Trenton, New Jersey. The name of this band is Vivisect. This is kind of bright too. Let me whoop this thing out on you. Check that out. Some killer art there. Tilt it back where you can see it. Frank Grabowski did the art. This one was released in 2022 on, let me show you this art. Let's see which way it goes. Check that out. This was released on Nihilistic Holocaust out of France. There you go. Death metal out of Trenton, New Jersey. You get 4 tracks on here, and Vivisect is a 4-piece, 21 minutes, 47 seconds of music. These guys have been at it since 2019. They put out a single in 2019, and I think it was like limited to like 15 copies, something crazy like that. And then they had a demo that same year. They would release an EP from that demo in 2020, and then they had a split that same year, and this is a compilation of that. You get 4 tracks on here that's just pretty well a compilation of everything they've done to date, but it's just great. Death metal, got a thrashy edge, especially in the guitar soloing and tone. It's got that 90s East Coast death metal feel to it. Just great stuff. If you haven't heard these guys, Vivisect out of New Jersey, give them a go. I'm sure you'll enjoy it. Pick that one up at Rotted Life if you want to grab you a copy. Now for fans of that war-themed death metal, which I am, Path to War, Chaos Eternal is the name of this one. Came out in 2022 on Desert Wastelands. There's the cassette right there. No nod to the artist here, but there's some killer art. Check that out. Open up the J card for you. There's the guys. You see it's a 4-piece. You get 6 tracks on here, about 24.5 minutes of music. Metal Archives are saying they're broke up, so that would put them between 2018 and 2022. And they had some demos and EPs, but no full lengths, unfortunately. Fortunately, this was their last and final offering. Man, I hope these guys get back together because I love it. Super war-themed death metal. Heavy, chuggy, all those words that you use to describe that style. And the style I'm talking about, if you like Writhing Shadows, if you like Hanging Fortress, if you like Frozen Soul, stuff like that, this is your jam right here. Check it out. I picked mine up at Rotted, but I'm sure you can get them at Desert Wastelands. Super stuff. Hope these guys get back together. I actually have them on a split on cassette with Maul and a couple other bands, and I found one of their earlier demos or EPs on Discogs the other day, and I went ahead and got it coming on the way. But super stuff. If you haven't heard of Path to War, well worth your time, especially if you're a fan of, I hate to say it, but everybody says it, Bolt Thrower. All right, last cassette I want to show you. These guys, man, have always been supporters of our channel. and I've always been a supporter of their band. Just love these guys. This is Cathartic, and the name of this one is Through the Abysmal Gates of Subconscious. Let me get this thing out. It came with this little, I guess you would call it obi around the cassette itself. Came on this green cassette. This one is out on Metal Coffins Records, limited to 100 copies. They also had a CD that came out on Awakening Records, and then one that came out on Concreto Records. And I seen an advertisement the other day. Eric has got the CD on Concreto if you want to get a CD copy. If you want the cassette copy, I picked this up at Rotted. Let me move on. Advertising. Check out this Dan Seagrave art, man. I can't wait. I hope these guys put this thing out on vinyl. I'm sure they will, where I can get a bigger, blown up copy of that Dan Seagrave art. Here's the guys. If you're not familiar with these guys, they're a 4-piece out of Mexico. You get 9 tracks on this one, almost 36 minutes of music. Just super stuff. This is their debut full length, following that 2020 EP that came out, Ceremonial Resurrection, that came out with such high regard, in my opinion. Old school death metal with that 90s Swedish feel, more than a scoop of that Mexican attitude dumped in on top of that to give you just, I mean, it's great stuff. If you like that HM2 buzzing, sizzling guitar tone, you're gonna love this. The song Path to Perdition, if you want to check one out, it's mid-pace for the most part, but then the last maybe third of the song they slow it down to a doomier part. Just excellent, killer stuff. The last track on here is actually an instrumental where they really let their musicianship shine through. Check these guys out. Watch some of the live clips for them on YouTube. Man, their energy is contagious. I'm telling you, if you watch them, listen to them, you will be a fan, man. These guys are great young guys doing that Swedish death metal sound with that Mexican flair, Mexican attitude. You know what I'm trying to say. You'll love it. Great stuff. Pick mine up at Rotted. And like I said, it come with this little, I guess you would call it a obi strip here on this Metal Coffins Records release. Super stuff. Alright, I'm gonna let you guys go, but I want to do a couple. You know, I'm high tech, man. You know, I do all this editing and stuff. I want to show y'all some stuff that you're really gonna like. First off, man, I just can't get over this. Mr. Joe Rott. I'm gonna give him a plug, man. He sent me a sticker. Check him out, man. Isn't that cool? Check him out. Oregonian Hunger is his YouTube channel. Hadn't made a video in a while. You guys need to hit him up on Instagram under Joe Rott, Oregonian Hunger, and push him to make a video, man. We need to see his smiling face. Check that out, man. Isn't that crazy? I know he had those made at Sticker Mule because I had to ask him where he did it. Another guy that I want you guys to check out, here's another high-tech thing. Death Metal D 1976. I'm pretty sure this guy's name's Dylan from the UK over there. Just started out his channel, man. Super cool guy. I know you're gonna love it. And here's one I stumbled on a couple weekends ago when I was trying to find me something new. And the name of his channel is Some Dude in Texas. Check him out. He's just getting started. When I say just getting started, he may have 3 or 4 videos out. Super stuff. Looking forward to see what he does in the future. Go over, tell him the old man and Metal Miners sent him. And if you guys will, today, February the 8th, is Cody's birthday. Hit the boy up. Wish him well on his birthday, man. I'm so proud of him. He's my only son and I love him. I really love that boy. Hit him up on Instagram. Tell him happy birthday. He'll be glad to hear from you. Make his day, man. Y'all be good. I appreciate y'all.